and welcome to Strength Hammer, episode 142. And thank you for everybody who probably realized that the last podcast was labeled 138, even though it was supposed to be 141 for the Arcane Journal Beastman Brayherds.
Did not realize that.
I didn't realize it till 3 minutes ago. So it's officially updated, so everybody out there, I'm sure no one really noticed, honestly. Like, you just look at they just look at thumbnails anyway, right? That's what the audience does, I think. So that's what YouTube says.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Did somebody message you and tell you?
No. I literally just looked because I forgot what episode number this was. I'm like, why is the top one 138? That doesn't make any sense. I know we're in the 140s.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I gotta change it in one other place. I will have to do that afterwards. So on the
no, stop the podcast. I will just look, stand here and flex.
Sure, go ahead. Just start flexing. I'll keep chatting. I can do it right now on the fly. I have to change the podcast to Spotify upload.
Quality you're waiting. Here, let me go this angle here.
It is. That bulk's looking good. How's
Thanks.
Bulk's almost over?
Bulk's almost over. I'm definitely at a bulk fatigue now where I feel fat.
You are fat. That's fine.
I know. But yeah, I'm excited. I am doing 2 more weeks of kind of maintenance. I'm not bulking, I'm not cutting, I'm just getting back into healthier eating. And then I will do a minimum of a 2-month bulk for July and August, and maybe take it for a 3rd month, but really depends how I feel. But minimum 2 months.
That's fair.
Yeah. 8.5 week, 9-week bulk, or 9-week cut is really not hard. Right, first 4 weeks are easy, and then the further it goes, it gets hard. But it's really not that difficult. It's that last post 8-9 weeks is when it's really hard for me, mentally, to keep going, because then I feel weak, don't feel strong.
Right.
It's even the first couple of weeks in a cut, personally I still feel strong. My lifts haven't really suffered. I still have the energy and the desire to go to the gym. But yeah, last week 9, week 10, you're just what am I doing? I feel weak. This is worthless. I lost all my muscle. It's not actually how it works, but
yeah,
that's how you
feel. Yeah, mentally, it's the fatiguing thing. But no,
so 8 weeks is usually a sweet spot.
Good. Generally my plan right now is I've been doing a lot of the bodybuilding machines with the wife, but incorporating more and more barbell movements. I still feel very strong with them, but once a week I'm trying to do. I think I told you recently last night. I'm trying to do on Wednesday at least a short session where I'll just bench or I'll squat or I'll deadlift, just to kind of get the CNS kicking in again before I start trying to push it heavy in the actual gym. So
you're maxing out a lot of the machines, right?
Yeah, so many more machines I start maxing out, I'm just
at a certain point, it's boring to do 15 reps or more, right? You could go heavy high rep, but it's I don't know.
Well, I've had the leg machines almost maxed out for a while now. Outside, for some reason, our calf machine goes up to 300. I don't know.
It's really heavy.
I'm at
I'm not even close to. You're probably closer. You're definitely closer to me.
I'm usually 190-ish on that.
Okay.
For sets of 12 to 15.
300-pound calf raises.
Yeah, I don't know why that one's the big one, but the quad, yeah. But yeah,
it doesn't feel right, because when I do Smith machine calf raises, I can load a plate and a half and do a ton of reps.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much weight that is. It's close to 200, right?
But when I do that bar is 15 pounds.
I think it's 20, 25. It's 15. You 15. Sure?
Yeah,
I think it depends on the Smith machine.
I'm pretty sure it's 15 because it's a bitch machine, so it's always 15.
I don't think it's 15.
I think it is. Yeah.
But it feels. I mean, you're as locked in, so it's not.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not sure. I'm not sure why.
So's mine.
Yeah.
Smith machine bar weight. Let's Google it right now off screen. 15 to 30 pounds.
So we're both right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then you need to Google your specific Smith machine, I guess, and figure it out to see.
So yeah, it depends. Because Planet Fitness is different.
Oh, I bet they're the 15-pound ones.
I bet they are 15.
Because it's cheaper.
One at my gym is at least a 20, because I track my workouts and I put the weight. Why are we talking about this? Moving on.
All right. How's your lawn?
My lawn is good. I'm glad you asked. I think I waited. When you wait a little bit too long and then you get those patches, those little piles of grass?
Yeah.
Because the grass is too long. So I did that. I think I waited maybe 2 or 3 days longer than I should. So I have to. I think I'll go outside today. I have to rake all the little piles of grass.
Well, we're supposed to get storms today in our
Dang
area.
it.
I know. I was
What time?
taking a
What time is it?
casual morning. It looks bright and sunny. I'm having coffee. I'm like, all right, record with Alex. Then I'll go out and I'll do some yard work. And I'm pretty sure we're about to be screwed by storms because it's getting really dark outside right now.
Well, it says where I'm at, it says in 3 hours we're gonna hit by storm.
Okay,
So maybe after this I'll go out for an hour.
maybe, or I'll hit it tomorrow because I'll be at a retro game event this weekend, which you'll see
Ooh.
on my Instagram. We don't really talk about that here too much, but
No.
you'll see it
But
on my
I'll
Instagram.
see.
Yeah, well, yeah, Alex will see it, but yeah, I don't know if I get the grass cut. Might be like early next week before I get it cut, but it's not terrible.
Yeah. Good.
Really, the garden weeding is just like nonstop. That's what I'm trying to fight through right now.
Can relate. I know I will not keep a garden alive. I barely keep houseplants alive. Actually, I don't. I don't keep them alive.
Oh, fair. Okay.
They've all died.
I have to say, my plants still thrive, but so do the weeds, and unless I keep up with them. So like worst
You're
case,
just good at growing stuff, regardless what it is.
I am very good at growing stuff. I have a green thumb, and I'm pretty thankful for that.
Growing a beard, growing facial hair.
Well, actually, I forgot.
Growing your high elf army.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. No, actually, I've been growing sprouts too, which you could do. Sprouts are fun and easy, and I've been putting them on the breakfast sandwich every day.
That sounds delicious though.
Yeah,
vegetables make any meaty, cheesy sandwich so much tastier.
We've had those sprouts. They have like almost like an oniony style taste. I don't know, I think they're broccoli sprouts though. But yeah, normal breakfast lately. You'll like this.
I bet I would.
I'll get 2 eggs,
Mm-hmm.
little bit cheddar cheese on an English muffin with some smoked salmon and some sprouts.
That sounds delightful.
It is.
I'm not even hungry right now. That makes me making me hungry.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But anyway, I don't mean to make you hungry. I'm glad the lawn's doing well.
Okay, thank you.
I'll talk about the lawn with Neil more, but like, yeah, it's on the edge right now. But you know, it's summer, vacations happening, and no one's gonna complain too much.
You know what I do need to do in the garden, quote unquote, is a lot of my trees are getting a little bushy, so they're getting like little like stalks poking out them when they shouldn't.
Yeah.
So I need to go with big
Pruners.
scissors. What are they called?
Pruners.
Yeah, pruners. So I need to go out. Hope probably this week because some of them are getting into the gutter. So I need to chop them up.
No, to be fair, that doesn't take too long because I did it last week. It was maybe like 45 minutes.
Couple hours.
Yeah. I mean, it depends how thick it is. You might have a little bit more of a struggle.
Well, some of my flower, I had like all of them is just I inherited when I bought the house. Like I didn't this. But I'm trying to keep them alive, and so far all of them stayed alive. But they're getting like to the point where I can't even mow under them because they're getting so spread out.
Yeah, that's
I just need to go and cut them, and usually once a year I do it, and it's no problem. It takes me a couple hours.
Yeah, easy enough.
Yeah.
And then you get this huge pile of branches, and you're like, where did this come from?
Yep. And then throw them on the fire and let them dry out for a couple of weeks, and then burn them.
There you go. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, lawn's doing well. You want to argue about Smith machines some more, or should we go into?
Let me tell you about how Smith machines are superior to barbells in every way possible.
You know, I always find it interesting on the Smith machine though when people do leg exercises with them, like very unique leg exercises, like laying on the bench and like really focusing the glutes with them. Like it's kind of fascinating.
Smith machines are a great tool, but pretty much anything you can do with Smith machine, you can do, or most things you could do with a barbell. It's just what's your goal?
Yeah, I guess like, are you hyper focusing on a specific muscle group because you're a bodybuilder, or is it just you're new and you don't have the control for a barbell yet? So Smith machine's a better option. So
great option. I like it, but also barbell is great.
Usually Smith machine's taken in my gym, so
yeah, you only have we both only have one nowadays. Yeah. That's why Planet Fitness is nice in that sense.
Yes,
is oftentimes they'll have like 4 or 5 Smith machines, which is like, hey, that's pretty awesome.
That's true. You got the options there. But all right, today, Alex, there might be I mean, you're an Old World fan, right?
Oh, am I an Old World fan? I'm an Old World fanatic.
Oh, he's got the chain with the Old World book on it. He's spinning around.
I'm on shrooms.
Oh, damn, okay. We may have heard of this army coming out called Grand Cathay.
Ooh.
Yes.
That sounds familiar.
Yes, I am very excited for it, and then you'll hear more about it on the other side, but I want to buy all of it, and I probably will. But there's also part of me that's enjoying, like right now, not really having anything to do.
Because you're just finished your backlog, right?
Outside of, I'll talk about more with Neil too, but I have 2 busts left. Because if you guys remember, if you've been here for all year, I set a goal this year of painting a bust model, one every quarter. So I have them all. I did the first two, which was the Swole Bulbasaur my friend Tom printed out. The next three Neil printed out for me. They're sculpts from Bust's Workshop, which is a great little company. So I had one for each quarter. So I have two left, but I'm paying them in the quarter. I'm not going to rush ahead of it just to get it done.
Sure. So it's not really a pile because you actually have a goal when you paint them.
Right. They're on a time schedule for that. But outside of that, I have no backlog right now.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's fun and it's a good feeling. I promise you all, it's a great feeling.
Oh, I can't imagine.
Yes, but also I'm like, Grand Cathay is reasonably priced. You'll hear me and Neil talk about. They're shout out to Squarebase podcast. They got the leaked version early, as they often do. Which Games Workshop, if you want someone to not leak it, we're still here, and I keep asking you, and you keep saying nothing. You don't respond to me.
Oh goodness.
But we'll review it when it comes out in full. We'll probably do some hype about it today. But Grand Cathay's coming out.
Grand Cathay. One thing I will say is I think what's gonna sway you one side or the other is once you listen to all the rules and the leaks.
I finished the Square-based one, and yes, I won it.
Oh, did it work? Did it help?
Yeah, no, it didn't. Well, depends what you mean by help.
Help, I mean, had it made it easier for you to make a decision?
No, it makes me want it more.
Good. So it helped.
So it helped one way, yeah. It's
yeah.
But also I'm like, save money.
Because if the rules are bad, you're like, nah, okay, who cares?
Yeah, maybe I buy one thing for fun. The rules are really freaking good.
That's awesome. Oh, I'll check it out at some point.
Yes, please do. Yeah, I'll try and link everything below. But Alex, as you know, Grand Cathay, from the Warhammer world. So the Warhammer world's kind of loosely based upon our world. So Empires, Germany, that sort of place. Grand Cathay is essentially China, as far as a, I guess, reference point within a fantasy setting, inspiration, cultural thing, very well known. So today we're gonna walk through. It's a post I found from Physical Culture Study, not Society.
Okay.
.com. I'll put a link below to this one too. But China has a very kind of unknown strength culture. And another thing I'll link down below too is Martin Lisi's World's Strongest Man 2016, 2018. Okay. I forget what it was. He does a great documentary series on his YouTube called Strength Unknown. And he went to China, like he's been all over Mongolia and all this sort of stuff. Right. Which is where I kind of got clued into like this, even before Grand Cathay was a thought. Like this is it's an old video, but very well done. Seeing the strength culture there, and like I mean, if you look at the farm hands, maybe they're working in rice fields or some other agriculture. Like there's old men that weigh like 45 kilograms, carrying 900 kilograms on their back. It looks like, and it's just like there's strength there, and like taking care of it, and that's all of it has to do with like probably the I guess the religious style mentality and things like that. But today we're gonna walk through this article, which is I forget there'll be references in it, but the strength culture in ancient China and how some of it has carried over for things that they do now.
Really?
Yes. Like just like not like I guess like if you ever look at Olympic weightlifting, like the Chinese team is often very good.
For sure.
They have a very different, more holistic approach to it than Western.
For sure.
And plus also like the whole mobility things are very different. Like they can squat ass to grass all day.
Chinese mobility is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it I believe is genetic.
Yeah, I mean there's genetics within the hip and bone structures. We've evolved as societies and all that stuff, but regardless, some of this stuff is really cool and I wish you and I had access to it because it would be fun to try. Sure. So let me bring it up here on screen.
Take a look, yeah.
Nope, that's your hobby. Wrong one.
Okay.
We'll do that in a second. Guest post, History of Weightlifting Part 1, The Imperial Era. So we might find the Part 2 article and talk about this when we do the Arcane Journal, but essentially just goes into and the Ma strength. So that's the, I guess, reference to this. So way back, China is old.
A little bit. A little old. A couple 100 years at least, yeah.
Yeah. So is it the Qin, Han, Jin, Tang, Ming, Qing dynasties?
You can get so canceled for this.
No, actually, I'm not because I took Chinese, so I kind of know
Chinese.
I took Chinese in college, which is that's where I gained my appreciation of the Chinese culture. Yeah, like I
That's
took
cool.
Chinese for 3 years in college. I
Right.
really don't remember much of it, but it was
Sure.
fascinating to learn. But they anyway, it's talking about the different eras in China and just what they would do. So there was one called ding lifting, uh Zhao Guan lifting, and then stone lifting. Zhou Guan, I'm probably pronouncing the QJ wrong on that. I don't remember that one, but um, a lot of this article, what's talking about is, as usual, strength culture came from military.
Okay, makes sense.
So you're peasants, you're cutting down trees, clearing land, hard work, like I said, the agricultural things. And then, oh, we need more strong men to fight these battles with these bigger axes than cutting down trees. So it was a way for, I think, peasants to kind of up their status and become military type things. Pretty traditional feudal style systems, I suppose. I think that were they feudal? I forget. Anyway, so this first one here, and we saw the picture at the top. You see down below the ding
Mm-hmm.
lifting. So it's a giant pot.
Right. It looks extremely uncomfortable to try to lift.
Yes. So I think the picture on the right is incorrect because I think what they do is they would grab the handles at the top and hold it upside down over their head for strength.
That makes more sense.
Yeah. I mean, maybe this is just some jacked guy that could just do it however, but
Do both, yeah.
if you look at this, like this isn't small. This is probably a couple 100 pounds. This
Yeah.
picture at the top.
And
And
it's awkward.
it's awkward. And they said these could get up to thousands of pounds, over 1,000 pounds. Now,
Well,
the 1,000 pound ones is probably gonna be these two guys carrying it between themselves here.
sure, sure.
But you better believe some henched, Chinese man back in the day was trying to lift 1,000 pound one, and maybe one did. Who knows? But this is an implement I would love to try, Alex. How about you?
Well, you better believe I'll try to lift it, but I don't know. I don't know if it would be very enjoyable because it's probably going to require as much balance as strength, right? Because I mean,
Yeah.
especially if you're not holding it by the handles. Because I'm looking at the top, the handles, like the top picture, they don't look very comfortable. They look
No.
like big old thick handles.
Oh yeah.
So either way, you got to figure out a balance, and I'll definitely try it, but I don't know how much I'll be able to get. Because I mean, I even have a like 150-pound stone at my house,
Yeah.
and it's hard enough getting to your shoulder. But I'm trying to think of like lifting it over my head, and like I could do it, but now try to do it with like an awkward shape that's all wobbly and hard to hold. So
Yeah. Yeah. Like you and I look at like the couple 100 pound one. Like I could move it, not
yes,
well.
right.
That's not to
And
mention
then
just
trying to get it over your head, having an awkward arm positioning. It's interesting.
it would be the next level. So you remember when we're first lifting, you're starting out on machines, and all of a sudden you go to free weights, and all of a sudden you realize like
Yeah,
those micro twitch muscles
so hard.
are like having to kick in to get strong. Can you
So
imagine what
hard.
they have to be for this?
Yeah. And yeah, the difference between shoulder pressing on a machine and shoulder pressing just dumbbells is huge. So huge. Right.
Hmm.
So yeah, I would definitely like to try it, and I'd be very bad at it.
Yeah, I would too, but I'd love to try it. And
Yeah.
this even says too, this they started making them probably bigger than they needed to be just because this became a sport. The
That's awesome.
Hunding made explicit for the sport. Um, Mighty Ding Lifter. I forgot to read through this a little bit to see if they talked about any records, but I don't see any in here. But outside of that, you know, if you look at like, was it? I think Tai Chi is Chinese. Was it Kung Fu and things like that? Kung Fu Chinese or is that Japanese? Yeah, it's Chinese.
No
I'm
idea.
I'm not great in the martial arts, everybody. So you can cancel me for that. That's fine. But
There we go.
obviously there was a strength, and this is where I think a lot of our culture has kind of lost some of this. Not
Hmm.
necessarily in the bodybuilding side, because they're actually a unique thing, but strength with finesse. Like you need to
Okay.
have a big, strong body, but you need to be able to move it well.
Hmm.
And I think there's a big thing in modern culture about um, getting big, but you lose flexibility.
I think it's shifting. I think classic bodybuilding used to be that way. Like
Yep.
I'm just gonna get as massive as possible. But there's a number of people in the community who I think are promoting both. And I'm thinking of people like Jujimufu,
Fujimufu for
who you
sure.
love, right?
Yep.
Guys on the Mind Pump podcast, all of them are big muscular dudes, but they also all promote mobility and flexibility.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I think it's shifting, but largely you're totally right. It's still a very much culture of how massive can I get instead of focusing so much on mobility.
Right. But yeah, I mean, there is a pretty good thing about like, yeah, being big and strong is great, but if I can just run around you, I'm gonna win. Like when I've done fencing in the past, like I mean, I'm a big strong guy, but like if I'm fighting an older guy that's bigger than me, I have to be quick. That's how I can win. So
right.
But if you look at this, strength and power events during the Han Dynasty. So there's one. The one on the far left is one that Martin Lisis's video talks about a lot, and that's the stone lifting.
Cool.
Like
that's cool.
Some of these can be big, and some of them can be.
And actually have handles. It looks like
they do. They're almost like the original kettlebell in a way.
Oh, and that's cool.
When you watch the video too, and I highly suggest even skim through the video. There is a lot. It's not just picking it up.
Mm-hmm.
It's flinging it around, throwing it, like doing crazy stuff with it.
That's cool.
Yeah, like it's a lot of mind-body connection with strength included. Then you look at the I don't know what that weapon's called. That's some sort of like giant halberd type thing. The new Shenging on Longma, I think he has one on the mount. So, but that's a very one-sided heavy weapon. So being able to move it with speed and precision, despite the fact that it's off balance and being strong enough to do it, would be a great thing to figure out.
What is that weapon called? It's like a sword or a lance sword almost.
No, it has a very specific name, Chinese name, but like
glaive.
I guess a glaive halberd style weapon.
Glaive halberd, yeah.
In case you're listening to this, but yeah. And then this other one I didn't even know about. It looks like some guy holding 2 tables worth of food and tea walking downstairs.
Now that's finesse right there.
Yes.
I'm guessing the goal is not to spill any of it while you're carrying a heavy weight.
I'm 100% certain that's probably what that's going to be. Yeah.
Imagine throwing that in the World's Strongest Man events. You had like having to carry, I don't know, 150 pound, 200 pound tables and not spill anything. And if you spill anything, you lose.
And speed still matters. That would be amazing.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yes. Now we get into the part. There's some modern references that have been like little not memes, but challenges that have popped up. So you can see this Kua Guang lifting. Kua Guang lifting. I don't think what this guy's doing anyone's ever done, because that looks pretty hard.
That looks, I mean, unless they're bamboo sticks or something, which then is like, okay.
These are meant to be heavy. So this is them lifting essentially the bars that would close and lock the gates.
Oh, there's no way.
not with one hand.
Not with one hand. Your wrist is just gonna. There's not enough muscle you can build in the wrist to hold it like that.
Yeah, the back can be strong enough, the wrist can't hold it. But I could see someone doing it with 2 hands, almost like it's a barbell. And we've seen the lifting where you're grabbing the barbell at the bottom and lifting it up overhead like a big ass sword.
Yeah, right. But like holding it like that, the barbell would have to be very light to hold it. Maybe with 2 hands.
Well, a barbell, I doubt anyone can do a barbell with 1 hand. It's all going to be 2 hands. So like I think these are going to be 2 hands, but hey, whatever. It's a cool picture.
It is a cool picture.
But yeah, lift it from the ends and raise it overhead. That's you. If you have a barbell at home, go outside and try that. By the way, I've tried it. It's freaking hard. Have you ever tried it, Alex?
I've tried trying to hold the barbell and hold it outside like this. Yeah. You know, like grab it in the middle and hold it out and see how far you can go. And like usually I can do this, and then I give up.
Oh no, yeah. that the whole straight heart is really hard. I'll come back to us. You're not seeing us. Yeah, so the whole like grab the barbell in the middle, up and down, and hold it like this. But I'm talking like have the barbell flat, grab it from one end at the very bottom, and just try and pick it up.
Yeah, there's no way.
No, you can't.
But like you would do this.
No, use 2 hands. 2 hands.
Oh, 2 hands. Yeah, maybe 2 hands.
Yeah, you could do 2 hands.
I was thinking like 1 hand. I'm like,
one hand, no, not so. But 2 hands and just like pick it up and like try to not bend at the elbows too much.
Sounds fun. So you hold it like this at the end.
Yes.
And then pick it up. Okay. Yeah.
Well, like, you don't have to be like you can stand up with it, but it's just trying to control the whole 45-pound bar while most of the weight's outside of where your center of gravity is.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll try it.
It's very possible, but it's hard. Yeah, this goes on into more history and just shows a nice traditional picture of like look at that old dumbbell here at the very bottom.
That looks like a proper barbell to me. That's great.
That's just probably a big thick piece of bamboo, which also is going to be hard on the grip, and then some weight at the end.
Yeah,
So
which is awesome. I love seeing like old school weightlifting equipment. And there's a little kettlebell at the bottom there too.
oh yeah, the little stone, yeah.
Do
Um,
you want a fun fact?
yes, give me a fun fact.
The wording, the letters are Russian.
Oh, are they?
Hmm.
Oh, that's
Yeah, it
fascinating.
says types of Manjuri and then Chinese acrobats, it says.
Well, I mean that would make sense because Russia and China touch each other, so
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty interesting.
yeah. Um, well, I mean Mongolia's in a way, but I guess it's part of China.
No,
Um,
Russia and China touch each other. And also, they also Russia also touches Mongolia, and maybe China also touches Mongolia.
because Mongolia is the top left, right? Or is it top? Whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It is all China now, um, except for maybe Hong Kong. I still doubt that
Moving
one.
on.
Yeah, that's not my fight in this world. Um, but regardless, China has a great strength culture that is fascinating. I'll link that article so you can go read it in detail because it has a very nice history lesson on there. And Martin Lisus's Strength Unknown in China, which is
Mhm.
also fascinating because, um, yeah, it's just cool to see it because like we don't,
Interesting.
yeah, like Chinese culture to me is very fascinating. I said, got an appreciation for it, and it wasn't even until now that I like now, but like maybe like a year ago when I realized that there was some strength culture there, and like you're like, oh, there's a lot of jacked guys there. You don't
Oh my
typically
goodness.
associate being big and jacked in a Asian society. It's not a typical
Sure,
norm outside of Mongolia, I'd say,
sure.
and maybe
Do
Polynesian.
they do Chinese have anything similar to like Japanese sumo, where the goal is to like just be as big and strong and like have as much leverage as possible, or not
No,
really?
not to my knowledge. I would
Okay.
say the probably closest to that would be maybe within the Mongolian specific culture.
Okay. Hmm.
Just because they seem to be hardier and bigger
Sure.
type
Sure.
type bodies in general, but
Hmm.
I don't know that level of detail, but that would be cool to see.
It is interesting.
Yeah. Plus, also since I'm not sure if you're aware of this, Chinese and Japanese don't necessarily like one another, so I doubt
Sure.
they would steal each
Sure.
other's stuff too much.
Sure, sure, that's fair. I honestly am not very familiar with that culture, besides just very vague appreciation of it.
Yeah. But there's a lot to appreciate. So I'm hoping I can get some big jacked guy in my Grand Cathay army, maybe a 3D sculpt or something, just a huge guy carrying just a big stone over his shoulder. Like,
Really
oh
cool.
wait,
Well, there's ogres. They have
there's
ogres,
ogres.
so you could do
There's
something there.
ogres, and they have a
Yeah,
big. You're right. I have it. We're
it'd be
done.
cool. It'd be
Buying this
cool.
army, 12-fold.
Decision made.
Decision made. Cool. So I hope everyone enjoyed that little history lesson. I know Alex, you're not fully aware of it, but like I think you'd really like. Definitely, you should go watch the Martin Lisi's video. I'll send it to you separately. You will really like it. You'll like that whole series,
I
by the
think I
way.
would love it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
especially
I've actually been, now that the weather is nicer, been really, I did it a couple times, but really wanted to go out more and do some of the more like strength type lifting with the tire and the stones.
yeah. I want to get back to playing with that mace that you got me for Christmas a couple years
Hmm.
ago, just because it feels so good on the shoulders.
It's like while the weather is nice, could as well do it. It does feel so good in the shoulders. Like
Yeah.
my shoulders, my shoulder mobility and even strength feels so much better when I use it like at least once a week.
Plus, yeah, it just loosens up like the traps and everything for me
Yeah,
too, which is always
for
where
sure,
like my tightness hits.
for
Um,
sure. Yeah, it's really really good.
you and I should do a video where we just go out into the woods in Appalachia where we live, and we just find big rocks and pick them up, find big logs and pick it up. That's the whole video.
Let's do it.
Yeah, because essentially I'm just trying to make us create our own Bigfoot vlogs that I'm into.
Hey, I'm down. You just tell me the day.
Awesome. All right. Well, with that, let's check out your hobby. Now,
Yay.
the first picture I accidentally revealed earlier, the one we'll have to go with here. A
Sure.
couple kitties and a computer game.
Yeah,
Is that?
yeah. It's kind of a hobby. It's, I wouldn't say it's a big one, but some of you might recognize the game is Heroes of Might and Magic 3.
Yes, sir.
It is a game I used to play as a kid, like probably elementary and middle school, and had no idea how to play it.
Mhm.
Like truly zero idea. So I downloaded it relatively recently, and like, okay, nostalgia hit me, the wave. I would say this game had a pretty big influence on me starting Warhammer, getting
Y-
into Warhammer Fantasy.
I remember you telling me the story off line like years ago about that too, just how it hit you, and it's like, cool, that's awesome.
Yeah, because it's all medieval. There's literally heroes of might and magic, right? So it's like, I'm not going to tell too much about the game, but basically, I've spent so many hours this week, and even yesterday after the hobby night, I was telling you like, hey, it's getting late. I should go to bed, but I might play this game for a couple hours. I decided not to. I
Okay,
decided not to and go to bed and get good sleep.
nice.
So that's a good decision that took some discipline to do. But yeah, it's a very fun game. Just want to share that as something I've been done that's
Could I ask, where did you purchase this? Is it on GOG? Is it
on
Steam?
GOG. Yeah,
GOG. Okay,
on
yeah.
GOG. Yeah, because I play on a Mac, so
You need
it's not
to,
available.
yeah.
Yeah, it's only available for Windows on Steam. I would have used Steam, but yeah, use GOG and you use Wineskin to make sure it works on a
Okay.
Mac. It's really a simple process. It took me like, I don't know, an hour to get the whole thing set up.
Hey, as a retro gamer who appreciates the saving of um, video game data and archiving, GOG is the
Yes.
way to go because you actually
Yes.
own it. You hear
Yes.
that, world? You own it.
Yep. Yeah, I like GOG a lot. I'm actually interested in some other games I used to play as a kid to play on through GOG.
Yeah.
But yeah, really, really fun game. I spent probably 12 hours this week playing it. Way too much time.
I'm gonna see if there's an SNES port. And sorry, everybody, retro video game talk, sneaking in a little bit more than usual. I'm gonna see if there's an SNES port that I can play on my little emulator device.
Yeah.
And of course, I'll purchase it legally, so I just have a backup of the ROM. Um, but if that's the case, maybe I'll be able to figure out a way for you to play it on a go when you're going to these Warhammer trips,
Oh,
because we
that'd be
are gonna
interesting.
we're gonna talk about something else here after you bring up after you talk about these lovely goblins that are on my
Yes.
picture screen right now.
Yes. Yes. So it was the kit I won through a raffle at the latest Acorn Brew Brawl event we went to. And I already built the other kit. I talked about it last podcast, the Ratlings. And these are the Wolf Riders I built for the old world. They look like they're round bases. They're just very nice bases. Like they actually have like things on the bases which look cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna clip the bases, put them on a square base, which Chuck is actually gonna
Yeah, speaking of
offer very
which,
kindly to
I'm
share
going.
some with me.
I'm going to. You need 15. I'll get them out and sorted right now for you, right after this call.
Beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful.
easy peasy.
So I built them. I have about 13 Wolf Riders total. Need to build 10 more. And then I also have the wolf named character, who the Age of Sigmar model fits perfectly, and
I mean,
arguably
the
was.
art does look pivotal. Yeah, like as you were saying, like no, these were supposed to be.
Yeah, it seemed everybody seems to agree that was seemed to be made for fantasy, or at least maybe they were debating about it, because even the item literally is either a spike or a hammer,
Yep.
right? His magic weapon, and his weapon is literally a spike hammer. So
Yep. Listen, Sigmar, you got a new GHB. I love it. I want to play you more. Stop stealing your old world stuff, though. All right.
stop doing the old world stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, it's interesting because his base size in the game is 25 by 50 mil, and his model does not fit on 25 by 50 mil. It will once I clip it, right?
Yeah.
Clip the base a little bit, but yeah, otherwise it wouldn't.
Right. It's maybe should be on 30s for him. But hey,
Yeah,
you'll make it work. No problem. Also, too,
for sure.
put on 30s. No one's gonna care.
That's true. I'll make it legal because I think next All World tournament we go to, there's a pretty high chance I'll bring him because I actually forgot to mention last podcast I cheated in the way I understood the rules
Oh, well,
for
whatever.
Squig Riders. Yeah, basically the way I play Squig Riders is I move them, I cast a spell on them to move again, and the rules say that if you end your movement touching a model, you count as charging. What I did not realize is it's end your movement touching model in a compulsory movement phase does not say remaining moves phase.
Right. So like reserve moves, which, yeah, I never even realized it because like I've never thought about trying to do that with my reserve move, but
Right.
that's because it was clearly saying reserve move. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Like I don't know,
Well,
like
and you
the
have to
naming
have
of
the
it.
random
Your
rule.
random move versus your randoming move in a different phase, which like that's a little bit of a trickiness.
Right.
So.
Which is it's still in the movement phase, right? But movement phase is charge, compulsory, and remaining moves.
Yes.
So they can't charge, so they just can't charge. You can compulsory move, but you cannot remaining move charge. So yeah, just something I didn't know. It was pointed out very kindly, very graciously by Kevin, world's strongest Warhammer,
Yes, sir.
Warhammer. And now I have to change my list entirely, the way I understand competitive play.
100%, 100%. And like also too, like yeah, like also I mean, ended up going 2 and 3. You may have been 3 and 2, probably at best with the way we were playing. So,
right,
not like it was
right.
really screwing up that much for you. Maybe it was killing you one extra unit.
That's true. And to be fair, the game that was really close for me, I didn't even cast it. So I think I could have played better in one without it, right? So
right, and actually, and also too, quick shout out before we use the segue you set me up for. I put up my old my whole high elf army on Warhammer Old World High Elves. I was expecting like, okay, some people like it, that's neat, and some people might be like, oh, you're showing off, blah blah blah, and I was like, that's fine. I was happy and I was proud. It has almost 750 likes and like over like 40 comments now. So thank you everybody out there if you're listening to this and you're on there and if you appreciated that. It made me feel really good. And it wasn't even great pictures, I won't lie, because it was
it's just impressive as is.
Yeah, because I'm just like, I have everything painted outside of the made to order stuff, which I'll get sometime later in the year. So I'm like, boom, there's a complete high elf army. It's
cool.
Feels good.
So getting the attention it deserves.
Yeah, it felt good, and I'm just like, you guys want to see my Daughters of Cain army? It's almost as big. But I digress, because you mentioned the next Warhammer tournament.
Oh, did I?
And I've been waiting for this because I remember talking friend of the show. He's been on this show. Also handsome man. Happy belated birthday to you. Val Heffelfinger of the Square Based podcast. Also shout out to him and Rob, like I said, because they put out the whole Arcane Journal. So I was able to do some list building, which you'll see later.
Very cool.
But Val runs up in Toronto. He's a Canadian man. Boom. The Square-Based Open Toronto 2025. So this is his second Square-Based Old World event. You and I went to the first one, which was the final 8th edition send-off event up in Mini Wargaming Forge. So Toronto's not that much farther. It's a 6.5 hour drive for us.
Like an hour away from it.
Yes. Yeah. So I will put links to this too below. I'm going to be better at links on this show. Alex, I think you and I are going to this. Is what we're.
I think so.
It works out. So. Yeah, it works out with the timing. Because I was bugging Val. I'm like, please don't these dates, because some things are going on in my local town. And he found the perfect sweet spot. I think it was for me. I'm gonna say it's for me. So Val, thank you. Really? I appreciate it. Yeah, I doubt it.
I'll be sweet if it's for you.
But yeah, it's there's 90 tickets left. It went on sale, I think, yesterday.
Keep in mind, there were more when you sent me the link earlier today.
Yes, it was 93. So, 93 tickets left. So it's starting to sell out. So I'm thinking you and I are going to grab this right after the show here. But 2,000 points. I mean, we drive up Friday afternoon.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
Yeah, we get two nights in the hotel. I cover the hotel. You cover the drive again. We can figure that out. But
it looks pretty good.
I'll put a link down there after. And you'll see this well after the fact that me and Alex have secured our spot. So join us up there for the Square-Based GT, which maybe Alex will have a new Goblin army.
Maybe probably have a Justin Goblin army.
Maybe I'll have a Grand Cathay army. I don't know.
That'd be cool. You already took your high elves to one tournament, so
I did,
and you can definitely finish it nicely a Grand Cathay army by then.
Yeah, by October for sure. Because, like I said, I have nothing else going on in my hobby. Daughters of Cain is not even on the horizon for Age of Sigmar, which it will probably get a freaking hero, which I'll paint in a day.
Yeah.
And I don't think Malarian's coming out anytime soon. I don't think Tyrion's coming out anytime soon. So
doesn't seem like it.
Chances are Grand Cathay is going to be bought. And by the time you're seeing this, check my social media because it's past the weekend. You'll probably see that. I'll be like, I ordered it.
You'll know for sure. Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, Alex, I think you'll figure that out. But yeah, all of you, I encourage you to go. I've never been to Toronto.
I've been to Toronto once.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. I have nothing problem. There's Tim Hortons is less Canadian now. I think it's more.
Is it?
I think it's owned by Americans now.
Oh, it was fine. It's like Dunkin' Donuts, but slightly better.
Actually, I like my second favorite coffee in this household right now, between me and the wife. So number one's Caribou. Number two is Tim Hortons.
Yeah. Very cool. Not Dark Side. Our local brand.
Well, okay. Well, Dark Side is the local brand, but I get that every Saturday at the farmers market.
Sure.
I buy that fresh.
Not like a staple everyday thing for you.
Right. Plus, I still have the Kicking Horse coffee because I need to get a bean grinder.
That's the Canadian coffee right there.
That's
that is
true Canadian coffee.
Delightful. That is a delightful coffee. Every time we go, we get a bag.
Like I said, I need to go to Amazon and get like a little bean grinder because.
Oh, you don't have a bean grinder?
I don't have a bean grinder, and you got me whole beans, which is fine. It'll keep fresh longer.
I did not realize you had a don't have a grinder, man.
That's fine. It's fine.
Sucks.
We're gonna get there. But regardless, we're off on a Canadian tangent. Everybody, Alex, anything else? What's your next hobby plans? I guess just to tease us a little
So
bit.
I think the next hobby plans would be I want to get a bunch of side projects done.
It's a good plan.
So the next thing is I have this. So either, and the side projects are either here's a small kill team, or here's a small whatever.
Sure.
So I want to get all of those done before I jump into the next big project. Like this last big project was to get all the goblins done, or most of the goblins done, right?
Right, and you have, is it 2,400 points now?
I have probably close to 2,800.
Okay, so you have options within the
I'll
set
have
of
a
what you
big,
have. Okay,
right.
great.
So I think that's that. I think the next maybe 2 months, 2.5 months, I want to get all the side projects done. So I either sell whatever I'm not gonna finish, give it away, or finish painting it. And then the next section after that, I think, will be to finish off the Goblin Army entirely.
Okay.
Which the tournament might be a good excuse for that.
Could be. When are you gonna get to your zombicide stuff? Because you have a lot of zombicide. Is
I
that
have
just
so much? Yeah, I don't know. I keep debating. So that will be a cool project because I do want to convert a lot of it to a Vampire Counts army.
Okay.
So I put it on square bases, which is going to be very similar bases, and they will fit very perfectly.
I mean, it's a board game, so it's not like you need to rush around like it's a mini war
Exactly,
game.
exactly. And they're very simple to paint. So that might be like, hey, my project is to get all the zombicide stuff done and convert all the zombies to the game as well, so I can use them on both sides.
Gotcha, that works. I have plenty of the old. What size bases are zombies on now? 25 or 20?
25. Yeah, 25.
Okay. All right, I don't have 10, 20. I have a decent amount of 25s, but I thought it's 20s. But
it'll work well.
Regardless, that sounds fun. I guess we'll cut over to me and Neil and get ready for a lot more Grand Cathay talk and a lot more of me waffling if I want to buy this army, which I do. Do I want to spend the money? Which it's just probably when, will. Yeah. Really. it is when, but I'm probably just gonna give in to the FOMO on this one.
You've been talking about it so much. I feel like you're just gonna go for it, man.
I know, especially too when as I stretch out this segment for no reason. Realizing when I was talking about the Chinese strength, and I'm like, I'm just talking, and Alex is just sitting there listening. I'm like, I must really, really like this more than I realized. So
it's literally the main thing you've been talking about it, to me at least, because how else you mainly talk to Neil?
Exactly. Yeah, and like Kislev is awesome and cool, but it's not grabbing my heart the same way. Like this is gonna be you and Kislev.
As soon as the Kislev comes out, unless somehow they completely botch the models, which I cannot imagine them doing. No. If it's even close to the way Cathay release has been, I'm gonna be the Kislev guy.
When we get to the Kislev show, we're just gonna put Alex on screen. Me and Neil will sit there quietly. I'll just press record and we'll just let him go.
All right. I cannot wait.
I can't either. But anyway, Alex, we'll see you next week, and I'll see the rest of you in like 2 seconds.
See you guys.
And it's been mere moments for you, dear listeners and watchers. It's been hours for myself, and a nap that took a little bit too long, but Neil stuck on an extra 55 minutes while I napped. It's a trooper. The only Midwesterner, I swear, that has a yes-no attitude. I promise you, after other conversations we've had in the chat today.
It's too funny. I have faith in you like an Empire soldier has in Sigmar.
There you go. I thank you for that, because I took a nap hard. Felt good. It's a good holiday. But we're here. We're going to talk first and foremost about Neil's lawn. I talked about my lawn a little bit. It's getting a little high. It rained pretty hard this afternoon. Garden needs some weeding. Did a little bit, not nearly enough. It was just more of like a passing glance at weeding I did. So, Neil, let us know. How's your lawn? Is it good? Is it bad?
It has been nonstop raining here, so I'm essentially a swamp boggler at this point. I think I need to get like a Cajun accent because it's looking like Louisiana.
Oh boy, getting them gators in there.
Voodoo and everything else out here pretty soon. So yeah, it's pretty rough. I did, however, cut it right before all this rain where a bunch of my neighbors, my lawn was looking rough. They'd cut a couple days earlier, and so they're looking at me like, hey, your lawn looks like shit. And they're right. But then I cut it right before the rain, and now they're going to be much worse than me. And so that gives me a good feeling.
That was mine. It's cut before all the rain happened. So yeah, it's a good feeling, and that's the mastermind move right there. If we're honest with ourselves,
it's a suburban win, and you like to get those.
100%. Neil is king of the cul-de-sac right now.
That's right.
Over in northeastern Ohio. Let's just say that.
This peasantry that surrounds me.
Oh my goodness. It went right to your kids' heads, I'm sure, already.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Summer vacation. Well.
It's that meme of me looking out my window. It's the same one with the three guys standing down looking down their noses. I think it's from Twilight.
Yes, I have no idea where it's from, but yes, that's perfect. I will say this: I haven't looked at the weather. I'm gonna check real time. We're recording this at Thursday, so everybody, it's looking. No, looks like I might be able to mow tomorrow. Be okay. I'll be okay.
Godspeed.
Yes, but anyway, lawn talk out of the way. Neil, hobby. We are post event, so that downturn does happen. How's your hobby been lately?
My hobby has been I almost last night pulled out my little customized Ishaya vest. I'm like, maybe I'll try and get this together real quick. But then I was looking at her, I'm like, I want to spend some time on this. I don't want to just rush this. And so I put her back down, and I've been printing stuff from Big M, so to bolster his forces for the Chaos Dwarves.
Nice.
So those things don't really exist at the moment. So he's kind of given me a list of things, sent me some STLs and stuff to print for him. So it's been one every night we've been pumping out. So these are some significantly big models.
Yeah.
On the last one I printed, which was an orc on a wyvern, I maxed out the height of my printer. Now, for those of you who don't print, you won't appreciate this, but to get a successful print on something that covers 85% of the base plate and then goes almost the max height, I can't tell you how good of a feeling that gives you. Because you go down there and you expect it to not be okay, right? And then you open that thing up and it's picture perfect, not a thing wrong with it. Oh my God.
Neil has run large events. Neil has reared children. Neil has a successful long-running marriage, but nothing compares to a maximized print being successful.
No. I just want to throw it on Reddit and be like on these 3D printing things and like, look at you people, all coming on here with your problems. You see this?
I won't lie. That's a little bit how I felt whenever I posted my complete High Elf collection that I just put up on, and it's blowing up, and I'm like, oh my goodness, wow, you guys were thirsty for some painted content of a full army. Wow. Okay.
Oh my God. Yeah, they were. And like, there's one guy I remember I saw one. It was just like, wow. It's just like, it's rare to see a collection like this and have it all painted. And I almost went back on there and typed because I had this thought in my head. I'm like, you haven't seen all the rest. This is just his high elves.
Oh, sure.
People are thinking this is probably the extent of it. It is the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, you didn't want me to turn around and see the Daughters of Cain displayed behind me.
Right. You should just put it all out and just be like, okay, have fun. Like, if you thought this was.
I mean, it's on Instagram, everybody. There's a whole story chain. Feel free to go explore, have a great time.
It is an impressive collection.
Right, but also I do have to do a quick shout out. I yelled at Matt a little bit, not because he's making you 3D print, because you're a great friend and you're a great 3D printer. You're the best 3D printer I know. I don't agree that an orc boss on Wyvern should be allowed in a Chaos Dwarf army. That feels...
I know. I don't like it either. And as an Orc and Goblin player, he's like, how do you kit out your Orc and Goblin, on Wyvern? I'm like, well, generally, I'll do, a couple of different things, but this is one of the things I do. He goes, oh, so you do the Trollhide trousers? He's like, yeah, I did that too. I'm like, whoa,
well, no,
why are you getting Trollhide trousers? Yeah. This is ridiculous.
There's no trolls up there.
Any trolls in that army?
Nope, no sir.
mean, you shouldn't get the same shit. Like, this is ridiculous.
There should be a limited amount of things you get, Matt. Jeez.
Stupid.
However, having finished listening to on this holiday of recording, the Juneteenth, listening to the Square Base with the leaked rules of the Grand Cathay, I really can't complain about rules when I field this army. Holy crap!
Yeah. I've gotten through a little bit of it so far, but yeah, it sounds pretty tasty. So
pretty spicy. And this will be a Grand Cathay hype episode. Neil's agreed to also like wait up for me to wake up from my nap to just listen to me be so excited for this army. But before we do, Neil's been printing. I've been painting in prep for Grand Cathay. So on screen right now, we have the latest Warhammer Underworlds for Daughters of Cain, the Knives of the Crone. So a little front and back action right there. Quick little paint ups, nothing too extreme, but they fit the army of my Daughters of Cain, and they are done and dusted. So boom, nice. Caught up there. I did another shadow box of a unbuilt in-package model. So Neil, you know my favorite kit of plastic that's out there right now, which is the Dark Elf Sorcerers, right?
Sure.
I've done so many, I don't have a conversion or a kit idea, but I'm like, Games Workshop just came out and they have to change their packaging from plastic to cardboard, which is why you see the old world stuff coming out as it is in like the little sprues. I was like, made me go, they won't release another version of this plastic again. So I put it in a shadow box. Kind of preserve it for all time, hopefully.
Nice.
Yes, little something there. And then a quick little high elf bust that you printed out for me long ago from Bust Workshop. Nothing major. The eyes were giving me trouble, but I just kind of said that's good enough after a certain point. Yeah,
you're a hero for even trying.
Yes, the busts I've learned for busts. I'm really good and really enjoy painting and glazing skin and getting those highlights up. Armor, not so much.
Really?
Yeah, I see so many mistakes on here, like in this picture, that I kind of want to go back and correct. I might correct one or two here, but
I'm the opposite there. Like I can't do skin. I always tell you, I do a white primer and a Reichland flesh shade wash. Gives me enough contrast on there for my liking, and I move on because I just every time I've tried to highlight, it's always looked weird and dumb, and I can't pull it off, and so I just stopped. So it's called it's good enough.
No, that's fair. Ever since Daughters of Cain took my heart and painting skin for aeons, I've gotten much better at painting skin than I am armor. Much as I hate to say it.
Yeah.
But yeah, see one mistake I will correct after recording this podcast, but is what it is. I'm still happy with it. It wasn't a competition piece. It was just a fun paint piece. So it's done and dusted.
Nice.
Met my quarterly goal, essentially. Then primed the other two busts you printed for me from Bust Workshop, the Yvraine and Marathi, just to get them ready to go. I mean, that's Q3, Q4, but those are the last two models, Neil, I have to paint on my entire backlog.
Nice.
It feels good, doesn't it?
You need to take a break here at some point. Reward yourself with some time off.
I am this weekend. I even repainted. So every time I finish the backlog, more or less, so I always paint Terathi's Rune on my hobby desk. So I repainted it today over top of the old one that you could kind of see most of it of, which it's kind of fun seeing how much paint I actually go through on this hobby desk. So like I'll just put it on the desk and kind of like swirl it and mix it there,
Yeah.
So like every year, at least once, boom, Terathi's Room's repainted over top of layers of paint.
That's fun. I like that.
Yeah, that's the beauty of having a I guess my own little hobby desk that's just for painting. Like it was built and made just for it. Like eventually I could sand it down if I ever needed to, but nah, it's just more fun this way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people could potentially steal that idea from you, but nobody will ever actually accomplish that feat. So nobody's ever going to be able to do that. So
That's fair. That's 100% fair. But I wish everybody luck. I hope it does happen one day. for you all because it's a time debt. However, I will say there is just as much trepidation of having an insurmountable amount of backlog to having none. Because right now I'm like, what do I do? Like I have other hobbies I enjoy, but like my brain like wants to hobby right now. So I'm excited about Warhammer.
Yeah.
And I have nothing for these fingies to do.
It's coming. It's coming.
It's coming. But I guess we'll just jump right in to the hype that is Grand Cathay. Nope, wrong picture. So as we've kind of predicted, Grand Cathay pre-order was probably coming, and here we go. So pre-orders, at the time of listening to this podcast, they've happened, and I've made financial commitments.
You may be selling feet pictures pretty soon.
Maybe, yes. There'll be a Strength Hammer Patreon. Please subscribe. Give me my money. I need it.
Give me my money, man.
Mm-hmm. So looking at the pre-order, so Arcane Journal, Grand Cathay, which is the basic. No Armors of Infamy in here, because like I said, we've both I've seen all of it. You've seen most of it. The square-based podcast preview of the leaked rules for this journal, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. So it's out there fully in the wild.
Yeah. This is Arcane Journal. Please insert into Forces of Order.
Yes. Hey, do you like all these rules from these non-Forces of Order? Well, guess what? You like undead rules? You like orc and goblin rules? Heck, you like some elf and dwarf rules just on top of it? Let's Slaves of Darkness rules all in one book, baby. Let's go.
They've done the right thing, right? They've made sure that if the hype train is big for these models. The models are beautiful, and they have given them rules to help you, encourage you to put these on the battlefield.
I was hoping for at least one strike against all of this when it was coming out, but no, I'm getting none of it. We'll get through it, but yeah. So Arcane Journal's coming out. The battalion with 10 of their Jade Lancers, 30 Jade Warriors to do different options, and the 2 artillery being able to be built either way, with the Ogre upgrade. Not to mention transfers.
You're gonna upgrade with the Ogre, by the way, too.
Oh, 100%.
If I learned one thing from playing Matt and his dwarves, is you always think of War Machines as easy targets, right until you run into like a toughness 4 crew member.
Yeah,
and your shitty little light cavalry unit, which has been decimated, does nothing to it.
Yeah,
So
Alarian Reavers, a couple small units of Shadow Warriors, might not get through that.
Right.
And not to mention, what if your Ogre was also a engineer that allowed you to reroll single artillery dice?
Goodness.
I know. We'll get there when we get there. Shway Lord on Spirit Longma coming out too. Some head swaps there. Beautiful. Really powerful character. You like Fly 10? Or Fly 9, I should say? Great. Oh, if Fly is turned off, you still move 8. You're still like a level 4. You can be 1 or 2, 3 or 4.
Oh, yeah. Still move 8.
Yeah. And you're still going to be... You're still going to be 3 up, 5 up, 3 up, 6 up. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
Such a great model. I think I saw someone do a meme. This was the Beastmen had that. They had like the antler deer creature. This is the one that didn't smoke meth.
Right.
The other one moved to Florida, is having the time of its life.
That's too funny.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. We have the Gate Master, so you get a BSB either on foot or on horse, whichever you like. Sky Lantern with the Magistrate, which I like him a lot too. The only thing that they're like, man, this could be really powerful. Like, let's tone it back a little bit. The only thing in the army where they're like, yeah, let's pull this one a little bit back. Of course, the Sentinels, dice and cards, and the match play guide. Neil.
Yeah.
I've not heard a single thing about this yet. It's something we're all excited for.
Yeah, it's it's impressive that somehow they kept a lid on it. You know what I mean? Like it's you'd expect the rules to be kind of floating around out there at this point, but I'm glad they're not. But we can all be surprised together. But,
yeah, let Cathay be the hype that leaked out, sure, but yeah, keep the match play guide, keep it secret, keep it safe.
That being said, as I plan an event for November, I'd love to see what's in there.
Yes.
Sooner than later will help me. So
hey, couple weeks, you'll see it. Yeah. Also, as a follow up from earlier this morning of recording a few moments ago for the listeners and watchers here, me and Alex are officially signed up for the Square based GT, which is 2 weeks before Neil's narrative event. So it's going to be a whirlwind of old world, and I can't wait this autumn.
Ooh, baby.
Well, it's going to be like ramp up, turn it off. I did ask Neil if I could use my custom army of infamy. He said no, and I'm not debating that at all. It's not the question there. It's like, okay, sure. But I was hoping, because that'd be the easiest switch in the world to turn off, because I would take something completely different, and like this has no power, my army of infamy. But I'm like, shoot, okay, so different armies. I gotta take different armies, so make sure I turn off the win at all cost mode between events. That's my plan.
Yeah, I'm throwing around for the narrative event, because again, key is narrative event here.
Yes, sir.
There's you know how you rate your opponents, like based on like who is your favorite game, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? There'll be like a who had rate your opponent's armies based on power level.
I remember you did that. That's a good idea.
So and it's not that you're gonna lose anything. If you bring whatever you want to this event, that's fine. But the person who I don't know how it'll work out, but the person who does the best with the lowest power level, will get something. So
it's a soft tiebreaker, I guess you could call, maybe.
Yeah, and again, it'll be narrative anyway. So if you beat somebody's face in 5 games or whatever, you still have to play to the narrative. But whatever. More on that much later. So
yes, I look forward to that, and I can't wait. See both the packs of these events I'm going to now. It's gonna be exciting to try and dual wield this, which I'll be fine because it's only one game system.
Yep.
Hey, Grand Cathay's coming out. I will be taking it probably to the Square base as competitive, because these rules are too good.
Yeah.
And I'm not even making like the most tooled up version I could. I guess I should say this. I plan doing one of everything here. Oh, did I show this? Did I show the primed models real quick? Boom, there we go. Primed models. I think I did. But yeah, I'm planning on one of everything, because like on screen right now, Neil, did you see the prices for the Grand Cathay stuff as we're talking Grand Cathay hype right now?
I have.
Yeah.
I believe I made a prediction about this.
You did 100%. Please. What was your prediction?
My prediction was we're looking at AOS type prices. You're going to see like $200 giants for the Sentinels, things like that. So
you're incorrect, sir.
I was very incorrect, and I am again. So I've been now incorrect on when this was going to come out, and I've been massively incorrect on the pricing as well. And let me just say, I am so pleasantly happy to have been wrong on this. This is not one of these things that I wanted to be right about, and so I am super happy that I was wrong about this.
Yes,
GW, you did the right thing.
They did. Part of me was hoping this was way too expensive. Now, full clarity, everybody, don't forget, I get my discount because I do the stuff for the U.S. Open, all that sort of stuff. All good there. No big deal. I was hoping these were still too expensive, just for me to not have to buy a project. So I'm very excited for this army. Like I was hoping for one nail in the coffin and be like, no, this is why you're not buying it. At least not right away. Yeah. So no.
It's doable. It's definitely doable.
Very doable. Battalion 185 US Schengen Lord 6250. That seems the most reasonable to me. Arcane Journal 28, that's expected. Dice 44, that's the only thing that hurts, which is also expected.
Yeah, I mean, I've never bought those dice. I think we were talking about this before. Those dice are so wildly overpriced that there's not a chance you could ever get me to sink into those. But I don't care how cool they are. So
they're cool. I have them in my mind to buy them, but I'm not sure if I will because I don't need any scatter dice or anything like that. So it's like I haven't decided on my army color scheme yet. Sky Lantern 160, but that's a big kit.
That's a huge kit, and honestly, like something like that, again at AOS prices, you're probably playing close to $200. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
You know,
that one I knew was going to be pricey. That said, I don't plan on ever having more than one of these in my army unless I'm given a second one.
uh,
Just from the look of it, the silhouette, I should say.
I'm not sure I believe you there, but that's fine.
There's probably a competitive build to bring too. I don't want more than one because also this would be a nightmare to transport.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you could have a special case for it, you know.
Right. Sentinels 127.5 USD. I could see myself having more than one of these. I'm only going to buy one to start, but I could see 2 to 3 of these in a list.
They look, and I could be wrong about this too, but they look like almost Mega Gargant sized.
I think they're between baby and mega size on the
Somewhere
AOS
between
front.
there. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I was expecting Mega Gargant prices for those
I
things.
was too.
Yeah, I'm again pleasantly surprised. So.
Yep. The 2 heroes, little box 52. That technically is a price increase from what we've seen from the old ones, but that's fine. It's still reasonable to get 2 characters. It's $25 a character essentially.
Uh-huh.
Of course, match play guide is 28, and the cards are 28. So all basic stuff, all stuff we've seen and kind of expected here. But Neil, are you planning to pick up any Grand Cathay stuff?
I'm not.
Are you
I'm
planning?
not.
That's fair. Are you planning on printing any Grand Cathay stuff? Where's this army sit for you?
I'm not. I'm super happy that it exists. I'm just not really. Even when I've been playing Total War, it's just never really spoke to me too much, and so
Right.
I hope to play against it, very much so. I know a bunch of people who are already interested in picking it up, so awesome. But it does not just doesn't speak to me like some of the other stuff out there. So
That's actually how I feel with Kislev. I'm super thrilled to exist. It's going to be
yeah,
beautiful, but it's not the army I want.
yeah.
But I know
I
Alex is
actually
picking it up for
found
sure.
the opposite there, so that I'm excited for. I don't know, ice bear, polar bears, and elemental bears, and ice witches and cool shit like that. I'm here for it.
Yeah, the ice witches is the one part that grabs me, but um, I know too many people who are just as excited. So like, I'll throw my love into Cathay where it's at, and I'll let the other people around me enjoy Kislev. And I'll enjoy playing against it 100%.
Yeah, the chance to do a poor Russian accent to Alex whilst playing that. I hope you found that whilst in there.
I found it. I saw it. Hurts.
Is worth whatever that army costs.
So earlier today it was for Alex and our strength segment. We were going over some ancient Chinese strength, like stones of strength and things like that. What they used to do for strength training, and I was reading through the dynasties, and Alex was like, "Oh, you're gonna get so canceled." I'm like, "I took Chinese. Like, I'm not doing it justice, but I'm not butchering the language or doing insulting here. All right." But I hope for God that you butcher the Russian accent every time
it'll be bad.
Yes.
It'll be bad. Yeah.
Well, when Kislev releases, there's going to be a record button. Well, Alex talks in depth about it. You talk in depth about it, and you just keep using that bad accent. I'll just sit there smiling the whole time, going, "This is the best episode ever. I don't do a damn thing."
Even though I don't have the belt, I will be challenged after that, I'm sure.
Yes, 100%.
Maybe to a gunfight.
Pistols, 20 paces. Let's go.
That's right.
But yeah. So I do have here. I'm gonna bring up on screen all these articles. There's been so many Grand Cathay articles. Whoop, that's the wrong thing. Spoilers ahead, everybody. Sorry about that. So the building the Celestial Grand Cathay. You and I talked about this a little bit. Just talking about the references, what they pulled from Total War. I do have time slotted after this actually to go play. I was gonna play it right before we recorded, but as I said, I fell asleep in a little nap that took a little longer. But I want to play some more Grand Cathay. I want to get fully into the mode with this. You said you haven't touched Grand Cathay on Total War yet?
I have. I've actually played it a couple times, but it's just not, I haven't really gone back to it.
So how do they play? Do you enjoy the play style? Is it pretty like elite style? I know there's more models within the Total War than there is being released in this first wave.
It's a lot of so they play into the yin and the yang.
Yes.
So in terms of like the buildings that you build, in terms of the troop types that you build, that kind of thing. But I don't know. I like my dragons with wings.
Oh yeah,
and,
that's fair.
So that's my. I just it's like when you try and sell me a dragon that doesn't have arms and wings, like I love that. Talking to you, Last Sword Adventures, yeah. So I don't know. I've just never been too much into the Chinese dragon style. So yeah, it's just stylistically just not my
I 100% agree. But if my dragon doesn't have wings but turns into a hot dragon mommy, I'm here for it.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
The one thing I do kind of like, and it's because of Total War specifically on this. You look at like the art and the pictures. We're so used to old world Empire, and maybe in Bretonia. No, these people are living in a true fantasy setting. Floating islands are the norm. Yeah. Giant cliffside bastions are the norm. Like, I would love to see just a Jade Guardian meet an Empire State Troop, and just that conversation. It would be wild.
Yeah. I think that's one thing that I've struggled with as well. It just seems so clean over there. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I'm so used to the gritty, old world, dark forest, stray too far in the woods, you're dead, kind of thing. And it just seems like we're living a good life. Like it's like an Ohio suburb over there, right? When you're but yet the old world's like Cleveland. Okay. Okay. These two things don't go together. Okay. So
well, I like I said, part of it has to be, I know in at least Chinese, I think it might be Asian in general, that showing the insides of bodies is frowned upon culturally. So that's why you don't see bones and everything. But what screams Warhammer to you? Skulls, bones. Sure. So obviously, yeah. I think that alone makes it such a distinct thing, because you won't see that because they're trying to appeal obviously to the Chinese audience, which that would be an offensive thing, which that's all well and good.
Yeah.
But that alone, like when you realize like, oh, there's no bones on these models or at the base of these models compared to every other army I own.
Right. Yeah.
That alone changes it. It makes it clean. Like you said, it makes it feel clean.
Yeah.
Like they take care of their streets.
It's a little bit different than like I'm used to consuming my Warhammer fantasy, and I've been doing it for many years. And that being said, like I don't dislike it, and I don't think that there's no place for it. It's fine. It's awesome. But just for my particular taste, my other concern, I guess, and I don't think I think they've hit the mark 100% on this, but and I think they'll broaden it into more fantastical terms. But my fear was that they would maybe push it too close to being like a prototypical like China or something like that, right?
Yeah, pull out too much fantasy. Yeah, pull it too much.
And not enough fantasy in it. Like, yeah. And I've heard people saying like, oh well, like the Dragon Horse is this or that, and I can't believe they did this to it. I'm like, well, again, this is Warhammer. They can go and do something fantastical because that's what it is, right? It's a Warhammer fantasy. Okay? Yes. So that's but I don't think they strayed too far from the mark for me, honestly, on that. So no, it was one of my fears there. So
no,
it's like, okay, you've got China over there, you've got Cathay, right? And that's kind of what they're trying the vibe to get, right? But you also have like Mexico and South America, and they're lizards.
Yeah. Yeah, North America's dark elves. Like, what's
going
on?
A different era, but nobody was concerned about that, right? Yeah. So
good old British snubbing towards the Americas as always, but
right.
No, but you're 100% right. And it's crazy to think that in the scope of it, they're more fantasy based as a society because of the fact that where they live is so different. And I like that it does keep that alien nature because, like I said, I'm a fan of the, Chinese culture and all that sort of stuff. And like, if I went there, like, heck, we went to Japan, which is much more easily accessible as Americans to us. It would be just as odd because it'd be much cleaner. It'd be much more respectful in a lot of different ways. And like, we're not used to that. Like, obviously we'd adapt and move on. We're not going to be those a-hole streamers out there. There's good streamers too. Shout out 4 a.m. laundry. But it's that alone, just making it very culturally different, even from a Warhammer setting, I think is very appropriate.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, but I will concede the point that you don't like the dragons without wings, which is fair.
It is an amazing model, though. I mean, and I get it. And again, I don't dislike it. That's not me saying I dislike it. It's just not my particular taste.
Right.
So.
However, it's not coming out right away, as we've read in these articles. Next one I'm bringing up is just the histories. We'll just browse through that one, which is a must read if you're excited. But yeah, so originally on that pre-order, they even said things where like, hey, the Grand Battalion box is like limited edition sort of stuff, and that was typos. This stuff is going to be ongoing, long term. It will be available, so don't worry about that, everybody. If you can't get it right away, it's not a foam. None of this is FOMO boxes. This is stuff that's just going to be out.
Yeah.
But they did mention that Yao Ming, the dragon, will be coming out later this year with the second Arcane Journal, Grand Cathay. So Neil.
So here's my question to you. Okay. So clearly, if you go and look at the like Total War, and you go and look at the roster of units that you can have, clearly there's some room for additional units. Right?
Yeah. We this army is screaming for like a gun-based short range troop choice, 100%.
Because there's lots of extra that haven't been touched just yet. So what I wonder, until maybe we get a new edition. Now you've mentioned that you feel like the rules are pretty good for this army, right?
With what they have on this limited scope, having watched the rules, yes, it feels really, really good.
So if they can go and add more,
to
it, I wonder like how the internal balance will wind up, how the external balance will wind up. These are musings that I have here, because if we're already looking at a pretty good power level, and we're just guessing right now, we don't know, right?
No, we don't know
how it all works together and everything, plus rules changes and blah 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 blah, right? But this is kind of a concern of mine a little bit, just to see how because you're not going to change these rules, right? If it's way overpowered, this is fresh and coming out, and it's going to be out there for a while.
The old world team has not changed points. They have not changed rule sets. They've clarified things. Maybe one or two things like a broken build, but not a broken unit. I don't want to say these units are broken, but I'm saying these units are quality.
Right. So it's so I'm just wondering how that'll work out. Again, like, this isn't really me being too worried about it or anything like that, but it's a thought that I've had, and I guess we'll see how it shakes out when it shakes out. So
yeah, because what was the last ogres were the last new fantasy army? That was 2002, 2006. I forget exactly when.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Right, but also they've written this whole rule set from the ground up. So I'd like to believe, despite the power that this army feels like it has, that it won't be dominating the scene. It'll be well, and it'll pop up there very quickly, but, I'd like to think it could be beat. And maybe what's in that match playbook will help temper a few things we're unaware of.
Well, we'll see, and I don't think it's a terrible thing. I just, like, long term, something's going to be better than something else. So why not this, right?
Yeah.
So fine, whatever, that's okay, because if it's not this, it'll be something else. So, or something that we're already used to, right? but I'm just curious how it progresses. So.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at it, I think in my mind, the one thing I'd love to see in this army would be a short-ranged fire dragon gun type ranged unit, a heavy monsters infantry style longma, not big beefy, but like a smaller version. Heavy cavalry would be great.
Yeah.
And outside that, we know that there's at least 8 of these dragon men and women, gods,
Right.
quote unquote, running around. So there's options. And the first one,
Oh, yeah.
Yao Ming, I know she's not out yet, but holy crap, 485 points, and she has 3 pages of great rules.
Yeah.
Magic's fantastic too.
Imagine owning all those. It'd be pretty sweet. To be honest.
We'll see if we get there or not.
It'd be great display pieces, but whenever GW needs it's kind of like Primarchs, right? Whenever you need a shot of infusion of money, man, just pop out another one of these bad boys.
Yeah, I'm a buyer.
Yeah.
Not to mention the leader here, the general. Like this art, by the way, I'm loving how I said it before, how this art is very Chinese influenced, but still so Warhammer. Like, just looking through this one especially, the Shangingen next to the Longma on foot is one of the most Warhammer pieces of art I've seen in a long time. Also, okay, so next one is the iconography of the Eternal Empire. So you can see Neil's lovely background there. But just this whole yin and yang thing of what they're doing. The magic has yin and yang. It's just great. Talking about the motifs. Here's the thing too. With this army, I don't know what color scheme to do. I am unsure. Jade, like green and reds feel obvious because that's what we keep seeing with it. But I'm just waiting to see maybe yellow, maybe something different. But like, I want to read more about what's in the Arcane Journal about the different areas of Grand Cathay to figure out maybe what color scheme to do, like I did with my Bretonians.
I will say, just to give you an idea, there's a contrast paint out there. The one that I used for my Merworm, the green, it's kind of like a jadish color, right? I think it's called Pterodon turquoise, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But that is a really nice jade if anybody is predisposed to that. So
I might be a buyer. We'll see. Also, too, the transfers in this army.
Oh God, yeah.
There is hundreds of transfers because of the balloon and just the army in general. Like I think this is the balloon one here. I like the different houses: House of Cog and Crane, Smoke and Powder. That's just little details. It's super cool. Like, thank God, because I'm so nervous about painting this balloon.
Yeah. The thing is, if you mess it up, man, it's everybody's gonna see it, right? There's no hiding that thing. So you just spend some time on that, baby.
Yeah, I'm considering asking my friend Brandon, who airbrushes a lot more regularly than me. His setup is up. I have an airbrush setup. I just don't do it. I'm lazy.
Yeah.
I'd be like, hey, can you just airbrush these base colors?
It's even just doing the lantern part itself.
Yes.
That's the most concerning part of it, right? You can handle all the rest.
Yeah, that
but
just
the lantern
needs
the
to be
paper,
flat. Needs to be flat. We'll see. Or prime it that color, I guess. We'll figure it out. Yeah, it's just thank God there's transfers to hide some mistakes, hopefully. And they talk about the sculpting. So obviously the transfer, like, and I have to laugh too. We've seen sculpted banners across Old World. This is their new stuff, and they're like, yeah, we're just doing transfers. We're the specialist design team. People pay us an astronomical amount for our transfers for Horus Heresy. So what if we just make you really good transfers, and we don't have to sculpt and you don't have to paint them?
Yeah, 100%. That's what I love that. I cannot freehand. I've tried for years. I don't want to try anymore. Please give me more transfers.
Yeah, and the sculpting of a banner is just it's okay, but like, yeah, I'd rather just transfer a banner like this. It looks so much cleaner and nicer to me.
100%.
Yep, they look so good. And I like how each banner's different. Like the obviously the infantry one's different, the BSB one's different, and then the mounted horse one is they're just all good. They're solid. They're big. They're flat. I love it. I also too, I've been seeing the models that are kind of going out there loosely from some leaks and stuff of some people who got these models early that might be painting them. Just from rounds on the internet that they keep leaking out there. There is so much detail in these models. Holy crap.
Yeah.
This is not going to... I'm curious how fast... I paint fast, but holy crap. Look at the detail on these guys.
What I will say, though, is a lot of the detail is... there's a lot of sunken detail as well. So, like, this will dry brush really nice. Like, I'm looking at the Sentinels right now. That'll dry brush really good. I mean, that would actually be a really quick paint if you wanted to do it.
That's so right. This infantry, though, I'm looking at the Jade Warriors.
Oh yeah,
the champion too. Like, you see how you can trim out everything. I'm like, do I even trim it out? Do I just make it all the same metal? Maybe the shoulder gets a little bit of a pop to it. But this reminds me of Khorne, the Age of Sigmar, the Khorne like warriors that have like metal and flesh and leather and cloth.
Like,
whew, that's a lot of work.
Don't I know?
Oh yeah. A 30 of them almost broke me, so here we go.
Well, the worst unit in the Khorne army is the Reavers. Because they are going to not do anything in the game, and they are packed full of detail, and you're like, why am I doing this right
because
now?
You want blood tithe points, sir.
I guess so. I'm like spending 10 hours on a unit just to put it on there and take it right back off.
Exactly. Yeah, but the Jade Lancers look good. Their rules, by the way, I was originally going to run them as units of 5, but their spears aren't as good as lances, but they get fight next to ranks.
Yeah,
so
that takes it up right there.
Unit of 10 for me, baby.
Extra combat res, the extra rank back there, and you're hitting, so you're getting more combat res from that. Oh yeah,
100%. Yeah, the cannons. Oh my goodness. So, like I said, and this isn't our Arcane Journal review. Obviously, we'll do that when we get it in hand. But the cannon, Neil, have you seen what the cannon does?
I'm willing to bet it's better than an Empire cannon, and it really hurts my soul because everything's better than an Empire cannon. It feels like
strength.
Bretonians have better cannons, or at least as good.
Strength 10, AP 3, Armor Bane 3.
Okay, that's fine.
And
what's the damage on it?
I forget what it is. It's like D3 or something. It's whatever.
It's D3. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I think it's D3. I think I'd have to look it up. It's I'm not worried about that. Here's what's most exciting about the Grand Cannon. You pick a point in the battlefield. Every enemy unit within 2d6 of where that shot lands. So you have to roll the artillery dice to see exactly where it lands. So you pick a spot, 2d6 from there. Or you just pick a spot, do the artillery dice, 2d6 from where it actually lands. So you choose your enemy's cavalry, probably. Because any enemy within 2d6 of where it actually first touches, -1 movement, no swift stride.
Do you know what also has that?
Chaos Dwarfs.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So how since they're just stealing those rules from an army that is technically legacy, I don't know if we can count on seeing Chaos Dwarves back in the old world anytime soon.
I'm curious. Don't forget that ogre, that 30-point ogre. So 165 points minimum for each of these war machines. You're gonna reroll 1 artillery dice.
Yeah,
yeah. And then the rocket battery. The rocket battery is pretty fair, but you can use the Sky Lantern's visibility for the bombardment special rule to make it easier to shoot. And Sky Lantern has some fun shenanigans. Like a lot of skill play, I think, is with the Sky Lantern. But the Grand, it's gonna be hard not to do 2 Grand Cannons, I should say.
Oh sure, yeah.
Just to be like,
because it stacks for sure. We've looked into that with the Chaos Dwarves, and yeah. So if you play any infantry, let me tell you, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah. Hey, what listen, you're -2 movement. All right, cool. No swift stride, great. Hey, by the way, I have a banner. It's one use, but I don't have to roll a damn thing, and you don't get fly this turn.
Yeah. And guess what? You're going to try ambushing this thing, right? So
There's
you
an ogre.
ambush, you get into combat with it, and that ogre just messes your world up.
110%.
You'll bring your, like you said, your shadow warriors or God knows what else, and yeah, not going to do a damn thing to it.
Yeah, and when you come on too, it's my turn again before you even charge me, and like I think the ogre can bring like these little grenades that can do stuff. I might even kill you before you touch me.
And it just keeps firing away and slowing down your infantry. Goodness.
Yep. Last article we're showing, just walking through the sculpting of Grand Cathay, just talking about everything here. Let's just also like just generally say, thank God this army's coming out in this era where they can do things like the Sky Lantern, because they would never do this if it was pewter.
Oh yeah, not a chance. It could, or it would be like real small and not look right.
Yeah, it would not look right.
Yeah.
I like too how there's
that thing would weigh, like literally you could work out with that thing if it was pewter.
Oh my gosh, yes, it's a dumbbell. I like too how these pictures aren't showing it, but there's a little like baby phoenix. There it is, baby phoenix, and that's what does the fire to lift the balloon. Just some guy in there with just a phoenix on his, like a little baby phoenix on his arm. Like, yeah, this is what keeps the balloon aloft.
Like, so okay, fun. Just holds it a little closer.
Yeah, just so casual about it. Yeah, these are just beautiful sculpts. 10 out of 10. I can't wait for Miao Ying. Like, I'm sad she's not right away. And there's gonna be so many people that are gonna proxy her because she's in the Arcane Journal from the start. I refuse. Yeah. This model's too good to not wait for it. In my mind.
Yeah, people are gonna proxy for sure.
Yeah, people are going to proxy, which hey, that's fine. But yeah. I do have to do a quick shout out. There'll be a link in the YouTube below, but there's a woman. She does videos on fantasy and things like that, but in real life canonization. She did one on she's not a Warhammer person, from what I can tell. Like not a Warhammer content creator, but she did a Grand Cathay look at the armor and weapons and stuff.
I watched this whole thing. Very interesting. Yeah.
Phenomenal video. She's a better video YouTuber than I'll ever be. I will link her down below. But if you have any interest in Chinese culture and Grand Cathay, go watch that one for sure. There's gonna be a lot of links down below. I should say that, by the way, from this episode, and I will get them all. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Like so much, and that's all the Grand Cathay love. They're like, okay, cool, go pre-order it. And I was waiting for this to be too expensive, boring on rules. I was waiting for the one strike to make my brain go, you don't need another army. You're fine. You love this army. Don't worry about it now. And the specialist design team over at GW said, what if we just took everything that Chuck was waiting for us to screw up and didn't screw any of it up? What if we gave it great rules? What if we made it fun and exciting? What if we made everything that you can buy this weekend just exciting and cool and reasonably priced?
Yeah,
I'm starting with Cathay.
The other thing I guess I don't understand yet, so I'm gonna have to look into the lore with this. Is why are these dragons so powerful, but the dragons in Ulthuan not as? Seems like.
There is a difference. These aren't the same. I don't think these are the same species as dragons. These are more actual, like almost god. Like imagine if Cain and Isha never left.
Okay.
It's that level from my understanding of it so far. And I'm still researching it. Like I love the culture and everything, but like I'm still
I'm really interested to kind of pick up on that and what the difference is between these dragons and the others.
Yeah, I think they choose a dragon form because it's just powerful, but I think the beings are just powerful themselves. Like they are essentially the gods still around that the elves lost.
Okay.
So like imagine Cain. If Cain was around and he turned into a dragon, we'd be like, oh fuck, that's awesome.
Yeah.
These guys just never screwed up their gods enough to have that battle happen. Or the gods got along because it was just a mommy and daddy, and they kept all the kids in line, other than a few that had a little too much chaos and ran amok. Well, with all the excitement and watching of the leaked Arcane Journal, Neil, I shared it with you too, but my brain went last last possible nail in the coffin to maybe just prevent myself from buying an army in one day was let me see if I bought one of everything from this pre-order that happened obviously this coming weekend for us, this past weekend for everybody listening. What would that look like as an army? Keeping in mind that it's a standard 50, no more than 50% of heroes, 25% minimum core, 50% special, 50% rare. Cool. So I put it together. And I did a minimum upgrades on these, by the way, everybody looking on the screen. So Shengengan, Lord on Longma, level 4, no other upgrades, no armor, no nothing, no magic items, 280 points. That's my general.
All right.
Gatemaster on horse. Just I plan on making it a melee character. 96 points. Gatekeeper, which is the subversion of that, BSB, 70 points. On foot. Magistrate, going on the Sky Lantern. No upgrades, 200 points. 20 Jade Warriors with shields. Full command, 178 points. Jade Warriors 10 with halberds full command, 98 points. Holy crap, those are cheap, by the way, for what they do. Jade Lancers, putting them in a big block of 10 because I want that extra rank. Full command, 218. Grand Cannon, Fire Rocket Battery, each 165 with the Ogre, as you would have. And a Sentinel unupgraded, which will absolutely be upgraded, 230 points. Which gives me 1,700 points of a 2,000 point army, which gives me 300 points for upgrades and magic items. And let me tell you, there's some great magic items. And a lot of these characters can take 100 points of these magic items. So heroes, 646 points. Core, just shy of that 500. So I need 6 more points to get it minimum. Special, 560. No rare. Because the way just this list just kind of lays out with the Shengengan Lord. So, Neil, I tried everything I could to not buy this army. I have failed. If you're listening to this now, just know that I have bought one of everything, most likely.
Too funny. Yeah, I don't know. Just don't go out to eat, save some dollars wherever you can. Cut back a little bit, right? No, you got it.
In the most first world problem, I will be at a little weekend trip with the wife away, pre-ordering this on my phone. Well, having a great time, trying not to spend money.
Take that lady out to the best Arby's meal she's ever had in her life.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh man, if there's Chick-fil-A, I'm like, no, honey, that's too expensive for us.
She's like, hey baby, we're getting some beef and cheddar tonight. All right.
There we go. I'm excited though. I get why it's not Kislev maybe, but man, if it was Kislev, I think I'd be on the opposite foot, like just excited for my friends to be buying this and seeing what they're gonna do with it.
I gotta say though, like for a game called Warhammer: The Old World, the fact that they went with this first instead of Kislev is an interesting choice. So clearly, I think they're trying to get into that Chinese market. I don't think they're gonna, break into too many new markets with Kislev compared to this. So that's probably the driving factor. But in the game setting, and knowing how far away it is based on Total War,
yes,
because you're certainly not marching over there for any reason. It'll be interesting to see where they take the lore with it.
Not to mention, I can't wait to see that within this year we're getting a second Arcane Journal for this army with at least the Dragon Lady Miao Yang. And maybe more stuff. I mean, there'll be more stuff. There'll be an Army of Infamy. Maybe there's going to be some more, a unit or two. We don't know that for sure. But this is half of a release of an army, and it's great. Please, Age of Sigmar, take note. Look at your Fire Slayer army and do this.
Yeah, right?
Make it great.
Yeah. Could be easily done.
Could be. So, yeah. So, there'll be more, obviously, Grand Cathay talk coming up on the show because we'll get the Arcane Journal. We'll walk through it ourselves. By that point, too, everybody else will have done it. But thank you for those who listen to us and appreciate when we do it at our own pace. And yeah, there might be no hobby for me for the next couple weeks until Grand Cathay comes out, and then it's nothing but Grand Cathay. So Neil, you're gonna have to lock down the variety for us.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some work here, huh?
Keep the high elf dream alive for us.
Of course, always.
Orcs and goblins, that'd be fun.
Oh, yeah, maybe a ground the punch or something,
Ooh, I'd love that. I might change this background here on the side from Harkonnen to Grand Cathay. We'll see. On the little layout we have going on. But Neil, anything else for you? Like, are you excited for Grand Cathay in any way, shape, or form? I guess just to finalize it.
I'm excited that it's here. I'm excited for how cool the models look. Can't wait to play against it. Can't wait to see people paint these up and get them on the battlefield. I know you're going to get yours out quick, but I think it's going to take a little while for other people to get these out, and so you're probably not going to really see them starting to hit painted anyway on a tabletop till probably fallish. By the time people get their armies all the way done. At events that require painting. If they don't require painting, you're going to see these bad boys next week.
Oh yeah. There's people that have already printed their own version of this army.
I'm sure.
Yeah. It's like there's great 3D prints out there. Like I said, Miao Ying is going to be a hard one not to 3D print, but I refuse. I'm going to hold strong to her.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what this does. I'm also excited because we'll get the match playbook. We'll do that too. And that's going to arrive at the same time. So Neil and you and I have to decide if we want to do that one first or Grand Cathay first.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. Hopefully, and that plus an FAQ. Lots of old world stuff ahead, folks. Yeah. That's all I can say.
That's actually what I'm most excited for. So bring it on.
Yeah, we'll jump on that probably first, and then we'll dive deeper. But yeah, Grand Cathay's coming out. I'm just happy that they're releasing models at a reasonable price range, and they are such quality looking sculpts. So.
And don't forget just how historical this is for Warhammer Fantasy. So this is a huge moment in this game. So.
Yep, exactly. This is probably almost 20 years since an army came out new.
Mm-hmm.
So cool. Well, we will catch you guys, I guess next week. I'm assuming it's gonna be something old related because it'll probably be something that releases Grand Cathay related or FAQ. Maybe it'll come early. Let's hope. But if not, we'll figure something out. But thank you as always. Thanks for letting me ramble at you.
No, that was a fun episode. Yeah. Thank you for not just spewing rules at me.
No. I tried to slip them in here and there, just to tease, just to taste. But oh hey, you know what else? Grand Cathay has for 15 points? Silvery wand, essentially.
Yeah, perfect.
I did. Why went there?
Why not? Yeah.
All right, everybody. We'll catch you next time.